A California autumn romance, quick and genuine welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a unique love story unfolding under the warm sunshine of a small town in California. This is the tale of two lonely, middle-aged people who dared to break all conventions to find a deep connection, not only physically, but also spiritually. Let's follow the journey of Eleanor, a beautiful, passionate florist, and Ben, a retired structural engineer who came to help his daughter. Can they overcome the gossip and complicated past to build a new home together? Eleanor was enthusiastically tending to a patch of roses at the end of her garden when she heard a man's voice call out from behind her. "Eleanor, could I trouble you for a moment?" Eleanor pushed her wide-brimmed hat back and looked toward the fence. "What are you calling me for? Is something wrong?" "You've already finished the flower garden. I'm here to ask you for a drink of water." Eleanor was still unsure of what was happening, stammering a little because Ben looked so unfamiliar. He wasn't from this neighborhood. She pondered for a moment and then uttered, You're asking for water." "I apologize for the bother. I forgot to bring water with me this morning while fixing the fence for my daughter. Now I'm so thirsty, and I just have a little more work I want to finish. If I go home to drink water, the day will be over. I saw a large water dispenser on your porch, so I planned to ask you for a cup, but where were you standing that you saw I had water?" Ben smiled and said, "I was right behind you here. You were probably too busy working to notice. That's my daughter's house. I was wondering who you were. You're not from around here, are you? That house belongs to Sarah, Tom's daughter-in-law." "You're right. I am Sarah's biological father. Her husband is away on a business trip, and she just gave birth, so I came here to help her with household chores and like father, like daughter, right? You both look so good." "You flatter me too much. What beauty do I have left? I'm all wrinkled now. Look here." "You should take a break too. Come up here and have a cup of water." Seeing the strange man, tall, strong and healthy, come over to talk, Eleanor was delighted. He was exactly her type, and she beamed with pleasure. Without needing a second invitation, she put down her shovel and headed toward him. "I'm in the city nearby, right? I heard vaguely that Sarah went to that side, and I must admit, the men over there are handsome and hard-working, aren't they?" "You're praising me again. I'm from the city nearby. A few years ago, I also worked far away. Since my wife passed away, I've come back to stay close to my children and grandchildren." "Oh, so your wife passed away. Your situation is similar to mine then." "My husband passed away 6 years ago." "That must be hard for you too. How many children do you have?" "My life has been difficult, sir. My husband died early, and I can't rely on my children." "I have 2 sons. One is out at sea fishing, and the other has been gone for 2 years now. Haven't heard a peep from him." "You've had a tough break. But don't worry, just keep trying, and fate will make it up to you. Who knows, maybe in a few years, luck will come, and you'll meet a decent man to take care of you. I have 3 children, 2 girls and now I just live alone. Whichever daughter needs her father's help, I go over. You're set up quite nicely then, sir. I just hope to meet a decent man myself. To have someone for emotional support in my later years, because being like this is so lonely, sir. Sometimes I cry alone at night." "So, how old are you this year? Are you 50 yet?" "I'm 51, sir. And how about you?" "I'm 55. You look so young for 51. Even dressed up in gardening clothes like this. If you dressed up at home, you'd She smiled shyly. "I don't know why, but people often tell me I look young." "I'm lucky that God gave me good skin, brother. And you look young too, brother." 55. "Like this is very healthy. You don't have to encourage me. I'm too old as it is. Luckily, having good health is what matters most. Looking at you reminds me of the carpenter at the beginning of the neighborhood. You look just like him. When you smile, you look like him. I know that guy. He's a colleague of mine. Is that your boyfriend? Oh, you're not dating that old guy, are you, sir?" "To be honest with you, he's been flirting with me constantly, but I don't like him." He smells like an owl all the time. I don't like it one bit. I find you beautiful and charming. No wonder you have so many suitors. Well, just choose one random decent guy to lean on each other. I want that too. But I have to take it slow. I'm very reserved about that kind of thing, you know. They both burst out laughing in the windy field. Ben was carefree, while Eleanor was subtly paying attention to him. She felt attracted to this man, a stranger, yet familiar. They continued talking enthusiastically, jumping from one topic to the next. Eleanor had never met a man who was such a harmonious conversationalist. It was completely different from the men who had declared their affection for her, and it was certainly unlike her abusive ex-husband. Ben found her incredibly impressive. They talked so much they forgot they were— "Oh dear, we were talking so much we forgot you were planting flowers. Go ahead and get back to work, or your flowers will all die. I'm going back to finish that section too." "Yes, talking to you was I'm all alone at home. Just me. If you like tea, I have tea. If you like a drink, I have liquor. It's been a long time since I met such a calm, gentle man like you. If you live alone, is it appropriate for me to visit? Are you afraid the neighbors might pry? Oh, come on. Who doesn't have friends? My husband passed away, so I need to have friends here and there. Who cares what nosy people think, sir? All right then, I'll come visit when I have some free time. You must come soon, okay? I'm always ready to welcome you." Ben walked back toward his garden. His powerful hoe strokes made Eleanor almost dizzy. She was so dazed she didn't bother doing her work and just stood watching Ben exert himself. But it must be said, Ben had a truly handsome physique. His muscles bulged, his skin was surprisingly fair, his smile was charming, and most importantly, he didn't have the stench that Eleanor despised. He was exactly her type, and Eleanor was smitten. For years since her husband died, many men had passed through her life. Besides gardening to support herself, dating men was the hobby she was most eager for. Just a few months ago, she broke up with the old carpenter in the county. He had money, but couldn't. After dating for a while, she used this and that excuse to break up. Men around the neighborhood were all infatuated with Eleanor. She wasn't classically beautiful, but she had a very eye-catching figure, a balanced, neat physique. While most people her age were getting saggy here and there, Eleanor wasn't. Plus, her key areas were very full, and she had an extremely flirtatious face. Her eyes were inviting and professional. Thus, men who merely met her were instantly captivated. Truth be told, after that brief conversation, Ben also felt a slight stir. Their similar circumstances, her attractive physique, and her flirtatious eyes. How could Ben not be moved? He merely maintained a sense of propriety during that first conversation. That afternoon, when he got home from work, Ben casually asked his daughter, "Do you know Eleanor, the woman with the garden next to yours?" His daughter's jaw dropped as she looked at Ben, her voice sounding, "Why are you asking about her? Do you know her, Dad?" "No, I ran into her while working today. We talked briefly, so I just asked you." Goodness, everyone knows about her. She hooks up with one man after another. She's given the whole neighborhood a bad name. The county probably knows too. You're the only one who doesn't know, and I'm warning you now, Dad. Don't get involved with her. Be careful, she might trick you. Don't talk nonsense, I'm not a child. I just asked casually. Besides, what do I have for her to trick me out of? Just as he was developing a good impression of his new, older female acquaintance, his daughter's words completely dampened his spirits. He didn't entirely believe that a woman who still worked in her garden and took care of herself could be as wicked as the rumors suggested. He was hesitant, but had to heed his daughter's warning. A few days later, while he was sitting fishing in his garden, he saw Eleanor walking by, her eyes peeking into his house. He didn't know if she was running an errand or deliberately strolling past to see him. Ben had promised to visit in a few days when he had time, but 4 days had passed with no sign of him. Eleanor must have been anxious to be hanging around his house like that. Because he was sitting in the garden, Eleanor didn't see him. He was about to call out and greet her but was afraid his daughter inside would hear. He felt a little awkward, but his thoughts were churning uncontrollably. Her tight silk dress made him unable to look away. Her figure was balanced, her walk rhythmic, swaying back and forth, making him utterly intoxicated. That image further awakened Eleanor in his mind, and he felt a burning desire to meet her. He came here to visit his daughter, but hadn't met anyone with such a... Plus, she had a strange allure that made him feel like he was experiencing a first crush all over again. For years since his wife passed away, he had been lonely and solitary. There were times when he longed for a woman to be by his side, to share his sorrows, and to satisfy his physical needs, but there was no one. Now that a woman was actively inviting him over, it felt like a waste not to go. If she were ugly, he might let it go, but she was too beautiful, too seductive. It would be a loss not to seize the opportunity. But if his daughter found out, she would surely scold him to death. After much deliberation, he still using the excuse of visiting his colleague friend, Ben dressed neatly, took a shower, and then hesitantly made his way to Eleanor's house. As soon as he reached the alley entrance, he saw her busily feeding the chickens. Eleanor looked up, saw him, and her face lit up with joy, rushing out to greet him. "Oh my goodness, what a pleasant surprise! I thought you had forgotten about me. I've been looking forward to you coming over to visit me for days, but you never did. Come on in. You look so different today. I almost didn't recognize you. When I come to visit you, I have to change, don't I? It's not often I get to dress up like this." Seeing Ben's face turn red and his eyes slightly shifting away, Eleanor suddenly realized something. It turned out she was dressed too scantily. Her loose tank top revealed all her appealing features inside. With every step she took, her body swayed, making Ben afraid to look directly at her. "Oh my gosh, how thoughtless of me. I was so excited you came that I didn't pay attention. Please excuse me, I live alone, so I always dress lightly like this. I feel uncomfortable wearing too much clothing. It's rare to find someone in the countryside with such a modern, liberal mindset, isn't it? It's fine, just wear whatever makes you comfortable." She pulled up the collar of her shirt with her hand and rushed inside. "Please come in and wait. I'll go change my shirt, or you'll judge me." Men like us appreciate it. Why would we judge? Eleanor took the opportunity to put on a beautiful dress to receive her guest. She also didn't forget to apply a little light makeup to impress Ben. The two sat talking until they were compatible in words and actions, in viewpoints and thoughts. They had only sat together twice, but they had become close, understanding each other as if they had known each other for a long time. Their conversation was no longer reserved, but filled with cheerful banter. "I never thought I would get along with you so well. Honestly, I've never sat and talked with a man for as long as I have with you. You're so considerate. You and I share the same circumstances, so I understand your feelings and emotions. You're so charming. Everyone would appreciate you. So you really appreciate me?" "Oh, this woman. Would I lie? So when are you going back to your side?" "If you go back there, I'll be so sad. I won't have anyone to keep me company." "You're never lacking in company. If you just send out a signal, the whole neighborhood would probably flock to you. The important thing is, I only like you. I don't know why, but sitting here talking to you, I feel a flutter inside. Do you feel that way too? You're quite the funny one. I like you, that's why I came over. I see you're getting older, so you don't need to hold back or be reserved anymore. I'm a very straightforward person. I'll just say this and you tell me if you like it. You and I can get to know each other. If we have the same views on life, the same hobbies, and are compatible in everything, then we can live together and take care of each other in our old age." Eleanor's question startled Ben. They had only met. He felt awkward, not knowing how to respond. In reality, he felt a certain fondness for her. Even deeper, he was captivated by her seductive charm. While talking, his eyes kept tracing her figure. His head was nodding, but his mind was wandering. He looked flustered and said, "You're very direct, aren't you? That kind of thing takes time. I'll only be here for about half a month. Then I'll come over to visit you for as long as you're here. You don't have to worry. The thing is, we need to calm down. That's just my nature. When I like someone, I have to pursue them right away. Quick and simple. Yesterday, I even drove past your house a few times. I didn't see you, so I went back. The first day I met you, I was impressed. I couldn't sleep that night. I was just thinking about you. We just met briefly. How could I have made such an impression on you? I just like strong men. Seeing you vigorously hoeing the ground, I was thrilled. After saying that, she gave him a provocative look, staring at his body with a look of desire. Ben chuckled. Even at this age, you still pay attention to that, don't you? Let me ask you a sensitive question. Go ahead and ask. I'm very open and straightforward. At your age, are you still interested in that? You mean the bedroom stuff between men and women, right? Just look at me and you'll understand. You asking that makes me shy. I just imagined that older women like you wouldn't crave that anymore. Eleanor smiled shyly. I'm only worried that you don't have the desire anymore. We women at this age can still run well. They both burst into laughter with delight. How could two people who had judging by her casual conversation and his daughter's words, he knew exactly what kind of person Eleanor was. Her liking him was likely just to have someone to serve her and satisfy her physical needs. While talking to him, her face flushed, and sometimes, instinctively, she even pulled both pant legs up to her knees without any embarrassment. She was indeed a flirtatious woman. She got flustered whenever she saw a man. It was almost 6 p.m. when Ben stood up. Well, I should head home. I'll come back and visit another time, okay? I need to go back and do a few chores for my daughter. No, you can't go, sir. You have to stay and have dinner with me. It's rare for you to visit. Stay here so I can wait on you. Ben teased her. How do you plan to wait? Just stay then. Whatever you want to do, I'll wait on you, even until tomorrow morning. If you leave now, I'll be so sad. I was just teasing you. I really have to go. I'll come visit tomorrow or the day after. Oh, Ben walked straight out the door. He really wanted to stay, but he was afraid his daughter would find out, so he had to leave early. Eleanor made a face when she couldn't keep Ben from leaving. Then promise to come visit me tomorrow, okay? Tomorrow afternoon, I'll make braised chicken. Come over here and have a drink with me. All right, go make dinner and I'll come tomorrow. Today's conversation made the two of them even more attached. He couldn't even remember what his daughter had warned him about. Her curvy figure kept haunting him. It had been a few years since he had been close to a woman. Sitting next to Eleanor today made him feel wild with desire. Eleanor was eager. If Ben showed any weakness, he could easily become her prey. She was not only physically driven, but also very intense in her thoughts. She went crazy whenever she saw a man, and especially with Ben. So she was determined to sleep with Ben. The next afternoon, Ben again used the excuse of having dinner at a friend's house to go to Eleanor's house for flirting. When he arrived, he saw her busy cleaning the chicken outside the well. Today, Eleanor was still dressed. When she bent down to clean the chicken, almost everything inside was visible. Ben walked in and looked, no longer feeling embarrassed. His male instinct flared up. He began to flirt back naturally. How am I supposed to handle you dressing like this? Oh dear, I didn't notice. Let me finish this chicken, and then I'll go change into something else, okay? Please excuse me. I like being cool and comfortable, so sometimes I'm tactless. Just keep wearing this. Why bother being reserved? Who knows, maybe one day you and I will share a home. Might as well get used to seeing it now. You're quite smooth talking today. I'd be so happy if that happened. Right now, I'd be happy just to have someone share my meal. I've been living alone for 6 or 7 years. It's so depressing. I thought you must have been seeing people. You look so full of life. How can you endure being lonely? I already told you about that. I've had many men, but I don't know why, but I feel a strong impulse toward you. You have such a sweet mouth. No wonder many men chase you. In a flash, a feast was laid out on a mat in the middle of the house. Eleanor brought out a bottle of plum wine enthusiastically. I have the last bottle of wine the carpenter gave me. Today I'm bringing it out to invite you. Please make yourself at home. Will you drink with me? Of course I will. I'm a good drinker. I'm just afraid you won't be able to keep up with me. They both sat down to enjoy the meal. The sound of laughter filled the house. Eleanor was clearly delighted. She picked the best pieces of chicken for Ben. Eat heartily, okay? My chicken is delicious. I don't invite just anyone into my house. This piece is for you. Eat what's good for you. You'll need the strength for work tomorrow. Ben teased. Can I work tonight? At first, Eleanor didn't understand. She paused for a few seconds, but when she realized what he meant, she slapped her thigh. Oh my, that would be wonderful. I'm just afraid you won't dare to stay with me. Why wouldn't I dare? I'm a man after all. I don't mean to flatter you, but you really are beautiful. It's rare to find someone as seductive as you at this age. Receiving the compliment, Eleanor was beaming. She adjusted her shirt collar to make it wider, deliberately provoking Ben's intense gaze. It's beautiful, but it's a waste to leave it unused. I don't know if you like this beauty. I'll secretly give it to you. They both looked at each other and laughed. While eating, their eyes were locked on each other's bodies, their minds filled with thoughts of the bedroom. Eleanor tried to get Ben drunk so that if things went too far, she would have him to take care of her. Ben had made up his mind beforehand that after this dinner, he definitely had to taste Eleanor. Eleanor had only had 5 drinks, but her face was already flushed and her words began to lose control. After dinner, you have to stay and spend the night with me, okay? I'm not letting you go home. If I stay with you, I'll be in trouble. Then you'll get angry with me and I'll be dead. What are you talking about? I'd be overjoyed if you stayed. Why would I get angry? Look at me, I'm already feeling flushed all over. Looking at you makes me feel restless. It's tough having a high libido. Being next to you like this, my insides feel hot as fire. It's hard having a high sex drive, sir. I'm so lucky to have met you, or I would have gone crazy. I haven't even helped. Eleanor laughed loudly, looking happy. Just having you sit here makes me happy. As you said this afternoon, who knows? Maybe you and I will end up living together. And let me ask you this, am I making people curious by coming here to eat and drink with you? Oh, don't worry about that. All my surrounding neighbours have argued and fought with me. Sometimes I act erratically, and I don't like gossip. So you don't have to worry about any trouble. I came here to visit you without telling anyone, okay? Before anything serious happens, I'm afraid the neighbours will spread rumours and it will reach my daughter. Then she'll say this and that about me. You can rest assured, I understand what you mean. I'm the centre of attention in this whole neighbourhood. No one likes me anyway. You don't have to worry, I know what I need to do. That statement made Ben feel a little more at ease. No matter what, Eleanor was known as a loose and easy woman, with a bad reputation far and wide. He was afraid that if the news reached his in-laws, they would curse him, and he would be humiliated. After chatting for a while, both of them were slightly drunk. The full bottle of wine was now only 1/3 full. They both agreed to stop. Eleanor quickly cleaned up and then made water for Ben to drink. Drink some water and rest for a bit. When you feel better, you can go home. If you can manage, stay the night with me tonight. I'll just sit for a little while longer. I have to go home by 9 o'clock. I came here to visit my daughter. I can't stay overnight, but I guess I'm quite lucky. I came here to help my child and ended up meeting you. That's why I said we were destined. Don't you think our meeting was fate? Ben smiled smugly. His eyes were still focused on Eleanor's up. Eleanor, sitting across from him, kept spreading her legs, deliberately trying to create desire in Ben. After sitting for a little while longer, Ben stood up, pretending to leave. But as soon as she heard that, Eleanor quickly, come in here with me for just a little longer. If you leave now, I'll be angry, okay? How can you bear to leave me feeling disappointed like this? Eleanor pulled Ben straight into the bedroom and closed the door. She pushed him down onto the bed. Ben was delighted but still pretended to be aloof. Are you really going to eat me? Why wouldn't I? Don't you know I'm very excited right now? But so fast. I've only known you for 3 days. Isn't it too hasty to do this now? Just stay here. Only by being fast can we be slow later, and only by being close can we understand each other. Besides, you might never meet someone as easygoing as me again. Everyone has a different nature. Don't be stubborn. Without another word, Eleanor could know. She proactively stripped off all of Ben's clothes. Ben could only smile shyly. After his turn, it was hers. Without needing Ben to lift a finger, Eleanor had already taken off all her clothes and jumped onto the bed, enjoying the moment of bliss. Ben hadn't even had time to compose himself when Eleanor pounced on him. Indeed, there was no one in the world as bold as Eleanor. What kind of woman would attack so aggressively? She tore at Ben, her hands and feet working non-stop. That intense touch the feeling flared up fiercely, and Ben began to synchronize with his lover. He started experiencing pleasure he had never felt before. How could he have imagined that coming to his daughter's house would lead him to sleep with such a beautiful woman? Not only that, but she was also extremely skilled in bed, leaving him utterly captivated. After those moments of confusion, Ben also showed his masculinity. He used all his experience in the battle. Eleanor was ecstatic with pleasure. The sounds of their passion echoed throughout the room. Though the space wasn't romantic, they both reached a climax. They went at it from 8 p.m. until 9 p.m. before finally stopping. The satisfaction was clearly visible on both their faces. My goodness, I've never met a man as strong as you. How am I supposed to live with you doing this to me? Why do you keep complimenting me? I'm just normal. Are you really happy? Just look at my face, you can tell. I'm still floating right now. Why don't you stay the night with me tonight? I still crave you. If you leave, I'll probably be awake until morning. I've never met anyone with such a fierce instinct as you. But I'm happy. We'll meet again another time. I have to go now. You remember to come back to me, okay? If you don't keep your promise, I'll come all the way to your house to find you. I mean what I say. Ben put his clothes back on and hugged Eleanor close. I promise you can rest assured. You're so good at that. How could I forget you? Oh, you're 50, but you look like a woman who's only had one child. I'm going now. Eleanor walked him to the door with a disappointed expression. She wanted more, but Ben couldn't stay. She was sad. That night, she was practically wide awake, secretly smiling and constantly thinking about Ben. She was thrilled that Ben was compatible with her not only sexually, but also in their shared emotions and conversation style. Thus, she continued to long for many more times of ecstasy with him. After that encounter, Ben was even more impressed with Eleanor. His mind was now only filled with his lover. He ignored everything else to dedicate his thoughts to her. After that night, they practically became a genuine couple. Without even trying to find each other, they naturally gravitated toward one another. He would go to Eleanor's house almost every night, and whenever they met, they would immediately rush into lovemaking. Eventually, Ben had to return to his home in the nearby city. Then, Eleanor also proactively visited him there. They were so compatible that they almost couldn't be without each other. They alternated between staying at Ben's house and Eleanor's house. The news spread throughout the neighborhood. If Eleanor was dating someone else, no one would have cared. But this time, she was dating the in-law of Tom's family. The villages around were buzzing with gossip. People speculated that Ben looked so gentle and respectable, yet he was dating that wicked Eleanor. They wondered what she fed him that made him blindly fall for her. There were plenty of women out there. Why did he have to date a flirtatious woman? Not only did the neighbours mock them, but Ben's children also tried their best to intervene. They lectured their father endlessly, but Ben paid no attention. Perhaps Ben was too enamoured with Eleanor. No amount of force or persuasion could separate him from her now. Unlike other men, who would only last a short time with Eleanor, Ben was different. They had been together for 6 months and were still happy. Ben even planned to bring Eleanor home to live permanently, but his children objected, so they had to keep staying on the other side. Outsiders didn't understand why they were so devoted to each other, but no one knew that only Ben had enough stamina to satisfy Eleanor. Time passed, and they both remained happy. It had been over 3 years now. Sex was no longer the most important thing for them. The affection between them was real. They kept each other company, shared joys and sorrows, and helped each other in life. Ben's children no longer objected to him bringing Eleanor home. If the earth won't yield to the heavens must yield to the earth. And so Eleanor officially moved in with Ben. She treated his children very well. As time went on, her physical needs also changed. Her cravings decreased, and her emotional connection grew stronger. Thus they lived a peaceful life. Life sometimes presents stories that seem impossible, with couples who shouldn't be together, yet it turns out to be real. I hope both of them will have a fulfilling life in their twilight years, and that no one can ever disrupt the happiness of these two people. Yes, dear listeners, we have just finished listening to a fascinating story titled A California Autumn Romance, Quick and Genuine. Thank you all for taking the time to tune in. The broadcast time for the program has come to an end. We bid you farewell and hope to see you again. Love transcends age and past. Despite Eleanor's complicated past and Ben being a man from a stable family, they still found compatibility. What matters is the understanding and harmony found in the present. The blend of physical and emotional connection. Initially, the strong physical and sexual attraction was a powerful catalyst. However, for the relationship to last, over 3 years, it needed to be built upon a foundation of sharing, companionship, and genuine affection. Dare to live for yourself. Both Eleanor and Ben chose to ignore the gossip, the children's opposition, and social judgment to pursue their personal happiness in their later years. One's happiness should not be dictated by the prejudices of others.